Hello, Dr. Holt. Thank you for coming in and talking to us today. So this is our BoilerBuilt YouTube channel, and we are exploring areas of research within construction. So I have prepared a few questions that I want to talk to you about. First of all, can you just tell us a little bit about you and yourself?
Sure. My background, I'm a Purdue University graduate, both undergraduate and master's and PhD program. Got 30 years in the construction industry and eclectic career from lumber sales to building inspector to project manager, job site babysitter for custom semi-production home builder to drawing house plans on the side that turned into a full-time gig and spent many years in the design side of the business. And then 2007 came back to Purdue for the graduate program while we watched the market take a big old realignment and fell in love with the teaching side. And so now I'm here at the University of Denver. Been here 6 years now, teaching in their real estate and construction management program. I teach construction building systems, intro to architecture and design management, and construction estimating. And then on the research side, I'm focused in on housing innovation, housing research. So that's what leads us to our conversation here today.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So now, how do you define research in construction?
So we call it research. The industry calls it problem solving. They're the same thing. And so anything that we can look at that the industry is dealing with as a problem, whether that's workforce development, new building systems, processes, uh, business models, product, to them it's a problem that they don't have the bandwidth or they don't have the expertise to analyze and maybe come up with solutions for the problem. We call it research, and we can do it in the academic world from more of a non-bias perspective. We're usually third party. We really don't care what the results are. We're just happy to get results and then let industry figure out if they like it or not. So we also typically have access as academics to a bunch of minions of grad students that want to do the research because it gets them involved with industry. It helps them solve real world problems, which construction management majors love. And so anything that we're doing in problem solving to move the industry forward is research to me.
Okay, and then along those lines, in your opinion, how partnerships between universities and industry can move the construction industry forward?
So industry is dealing with a whole bunch of stuff in the market right now that we've never seen in our lifetime. Supply chain issues, workforce development, and they're reacting, and the things that are happening are so fast that, in my opinion, we can't keep up in academia where they deal with it every day. So by partnering with industry, we get to live alongside their world, and they bring the latest and greatest challenges, market conditions, technology into the classroom, and we help them in the research and development of it. But where other industries, research is leading the industry, I really feel like in construction management, the industry leads the research because there are so many things happening in the construction market, both in the commercial and especially in the home building world right now, that to try and keep up from an academic point of view is almost impossible without being right there tied to industry and them bringing us along with them.
Okay, and expanding on that, what do you see as hot topics of research that can really improve the construction industry?
Specific to housing or just construction as a whole?
We can talk about construction as a whole. I'll have a question about housing in the next one.
Well, so, right now, construction as a whole is going through some major shifts in productivity, exasperated by the lack of workforce that started back in the crash of 2008 recession. They're still reeling from that. We're looking at trying to increase our productivity because we're last in the market right now to do that. I mean, hunting and fishing right now is kicking our productivity butt as an industry. So we're being forced as an industry to innovate and do things differently. The way that the construction industry has operated and functioned over the last decade or century is not working like it used to. So, um, hot topics that we're seeing, you know, changing the way that we design and build things, technology, and how that's driving construction forward. Workforce development, and that's been a topic forever, and number one topic in most circles across the nation in all sectors. And we've done a lot of work toward that. Purdue has, everybody has, and still it is a probably the number one issue and challenge that most builders, most construction professionals are facing. So, and then you get into sustainability and where that's taking different market sectors right now. So, those are probably where we're looking at in our research right now.
Okay, perfect. Now, particularly to residential construction, which advances you see happening in the field in the next 5 to 10 years?
So, offsite construction is making huge leaps and bounds, going from just traditional panel wall system, sticks and sheathing, and trusses to more enclosed walls, more finishes. Um, we've explored this before. It's happened every time there's when the hot market happens. You see panelized and offsite move forward, and then when the recession happens, everybody goes back to the lowest common denominator of stick built framing. But we're seeing some different, a lot of technology being enabled this time that's different. A lot of productivity studies. It's different. So we'll see where that goes. Um, Technology is huge right now in the construction industry. How it affects offsite construction, the processes that are being utilized in the field to manage the daily workflow, different technologies being utilized now in materials and methods. So you're going to see a lot of changes and innovation in that arena. Workforce development is always going to be okay. So if we can't train actual framers and tradespeople, then let's train people that will program the robots or run the drones or whatever that we need to increase our productivity. And then environmental social governments, the carbon footprint of housing, um, coming up with ways to go beyond just net zero in the way of energy usage, but looking at what's the embodied carbon of the home. Those are some big advancements that you're going to see. And then the whole business model of housing is changing. Home as a service, build for rent. Um, there are builders out there that, I mean, do nothing but build for long-term rental properties. Not, we call them, you know, really flat, low, single-family apartment buildings because they're building single-family communities strictly to long-term rent out, and they're holding them for 30 plus years. The model of building, developing, and then selling off the product for a 1 year warranty is changing. And then builders that are still selling single family homes, they're changing their warranty and their service model to more that of like the auto industry, where they want to service everything on the house, take care and offer that as part of a warranty, um, for long term. So when you want to upgrade your house, when you want to outgrow it and move, they're the builder of choice. So they're long term thinking in the business models is changing in the industry.
Okay, so now let's talk about your current research. Can you describe, and I'll say in a few words because every researcher loves to talk about research, especially their own. Um, a few words on your line of research and why you chose it.
Some of the research I've chosen is because all of the research I've chosen is because industries come to us and say this is a problem. Back to the industry question, they also fund the research, and so we, as academics, we chase the dollars. But we're working with a manufactured home consultant that has hours and hours of video of inside different manufactured home factories that claim that they're super efficient, but a lot of times there's just a bunch of guys building homes in a barn instead of out in the field. And so we're analyzing those videos with students. They're literally watching videos and coding to what's value add and what's not value add. And surprisingly, there's a lot of non-value add, even though it's in a factory. Um, We're working with Pro Builder to we just got done with a big survey of builders across the nation to find out what kind of technology they're using on their daily workflow. What are they using for estimating? What are they using for scheduling? What software are they using to manage the project? What level of BIM, virtual design and construction, are they working under? And so we're going to start analyzing those results and put out a home builder technology report. We're working with multiple agencies on workforce development, trying to figure out the talent training and development ecosystem. We know there's a lot of training happening out there. They're not connected, they're not networked, and so trying to just capture what is the whole ecosystem and can we leverage that as a industry. And then working with a local home builder here in Denver, Colorado, that's looking to produce the first North America's first single family home that is carbon neutral, and doing that by both analyzing his materials and what he's using, but also what can he do with offsets and how much does that cost, and can he turn his product into a carbon neutral, carbon free product. So those are the research projects that we're working on. Industry is leading those, providing us with data, providing us with funding, and then I'm throwing grad students at it, and they enjoy that.
Great. I guess you already answered my next question, which is to describe a recent research project. Do you want to still talk a little bit more about one of them?
But yeah, the home building technology study that will be coming out in a month or two now that we've collected data, and then we're trying to finalize our paper stuff on the carbon footprint of single family homes. So hopefully in a month or two we've already started kind of doing some presentations on both of those topics and where things land. So.
And how do you see that these results will be used by, like, just to move industry forward?
So on the carbon footprint, one of the challenges that Gene is asking us to look at is there's like 5 or 6 different carbon footprint LCAs, life cycle analysis calculators out there. Some of them are geared for just construction as a whole. And we're having to figure out how to jam a single family home into something that's geared for a commercial project. There's a couple of them out there that are geared for any type of project. Some of those, and then there's one out there that's targeted just for single family homes. Which one's going to be the best for home builders to use, which one's going to make the most sense, which is going to be easiest, which is going to be the most accurate. These are the things that we're analyzing. Literally, I've got a group of grad students that are taking a single family home and running it through that's the control, running it through all these different calculators and coming up with the pros and cons of each. We're going to do some comparison. Did they what makes sense for industry to help industry set the standards of where do you draw the box around what is calculated, because the rabbit hole of how you calculate your carbon footprint can get really deep really fast.
Okay, very good. I would say for any viewers who are interested, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole of understanding life cycle analysis, but I do suggest that you go look a little more information. And what do you see as benefits of getting involved in research projects, specifically at the undergraduate level? How could they also use the knowledge that they've gained working research if they don't go to academia, right? So if they go to industry, is there also a value?
Huge value. First off, just the interaction with industry. Nowadays you want to go get a job as an undergrad or even a grad student. If you just showed up and went to class, big deal. Everybody's doing that. So by doing a research project, first off, you get to interact with the industry, helping them solve a real world problem. That is huge on the resume. Secondly, it again sets you apart from doing more than just going to class. And then third, construction people, we love solving real world problems. That's why we're in this industry. We want to build stuff, we want to problem solve. And so now you get to see the real world stuff that happens in industry and go out and make a name for yourself as a problem solver. That's huge. That'll get you hired pretty quickly. So, in my mind, it is a great way to enhance your educational experience and set yourself apart from your peers.
Okay, very good. Um, I think that concludes the set questions. Is there anything else you want to share with us?
Boiler up.
Boiler up. That's a good one. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Holtz, very much for this interview. And if anybody has more questions, how can they contact you?
So my email is eric.holt, eric.holt @du.edu. Send me an email. I'll fill you in what we have going on, and answer any of your questions. So again, thank you guys for doing this.